A Yosemite misadventure the day the park turned against us. So we were driving up to do hike number 200 in Yosemite National Park, and we decided to go to Glacier Point. It's the highest point in the park that you can get to easily, and you can drive up, and it's been closed for a couple of years, so it's really nice to go up there. And we were all prepared with the right clothes. It was October, so you can expect it to have a little bit of chilliness. And we were all just enjoying ourselves and taking pictures and expanses, and it started to rain. Then I realized that this wasn't really a raincoat. Well, guess what? Life takes you to unexpected places, and love brings you home. And my partner, my husband, was with me, and he loaned me his raincoat. So I had on layer number 1, layer number 2, and layer number 3. Now, when you're hiking in that kind of area, you want to use hiking poles because you never know what adventures you're going to find. And as we drove down to Taft Point, which is another great overview, we were quite excited because we haven't been to Yosemite in probably 8 years. So getting dressed and get everything all organized in the car, of course, we had to wear a hood and got all bundled up. And we're walking. It was really great. And then we walked right into a cloud. When I say cloud, I mean you could see, let's say, across the living room. That would be how much space we could see. So walking along, it's not a straight sidewalk. It's actually a down and an up and go across and then come back. But it was fun. It was fun because we haven't been outside, and it was just, hike number 200 is going to be amazing. And this part of Yosemite has these giant holes. So if I'm standing here, this giant hole goes down about 2,000 feet. So you don't want to go to that fissure and fall in it, but you definitely want to see it. And the closer we got to the fissures, the less trees, the less everything, a lot more rocks, a lot more granite, a lot more sandy kind of stuff. And so we would look down, and I'll attach the pictures in my contacts below, and you could look down, and then we get all the way to Taft Point, and there's this really nice fence that you can hang on to. Because if you look down, well, actually we couldn't see anything, because the truth is we were in a cloud. We could have been on any mountain. We could have been anywhere in the world, and you wouldn't even have known it if you didn't know exactly how Taft Point looks. But together, we collaborated and figured out how can we do this. So Guy took our pictures, just enjoying the space that we were. It's around 7,000 feet. And so it's not the smallest, lowest place you could go. And then we're going to leave. And as we're leaving, we ran into other people coming down. And the rain had kind of lessened a little bit, so we're not too unhappy. And we're going, still having our hoods on and everything. We got to a certain point, and these people asked directions, and we didn't pay attention, and we turned the wrong way. So now we're going, and I'm like, this doesn't look familiar. I don't remember those trees falling down. And then we saw a deer and a little baby deer, and we got distracted, and we kept going the wrong way. Then we met another couple, and they were coming from another point, and they were going to the same parking lot we were. And we asked them, and oh no, it's this way. So we realized we probably had walked a good half a mile extra that we didn't need to walk. So we turned around, and as we're going down the hill, and then up the hill, and then across the side, and back and forth, well, guess what? It was really soggy. Our shoes were completely sopping wet. In fact, we felt like we were walking in water. We got to our car, and the key would not work. It had gotten too wet. So my husband remembered that AAA taught him that you could pull out this other key that's kind of locked inside. And so he did, and it's not the easiest thing to do, but here it is, the little tiny skinny guy. And we weren't the only ones in the parking lot, but nobody was paying attention to us because it was raining so hard. Now we're sopping wet, and we're so sopping wet that we were shaking like this. And to put the key in the back of the car to see if we could get the trunk open was kind of difficult. We dropped it a couple of times, and then we got the trunk open. So I started going in, leaning over the suitcase just to pull out some warm clothes. He ran to the bathroom and started drawing the key. About 40 minutes later, Now we're really shivering. He comes back, and the little red light worked, and he opened the door, and we drove off down the hill. Now, to get home, we weren't going home. We were going to a hotel, but our clothes were so sopping wet. They were just dripping, so we just dropped everything, jumped into the shower, and went to dinner. Now, when we went to dinner, I had on this sweatshirt, because I was going to be so darn cold. I didn't know how I was going to ever get warm enough. And guess what sweatshirt it was? It was, I am the brand. And so I'm sitting there with my cup of hot coffee, shivering, and the guy says, "You are the brand?" I go, "Yes, I am. I'm Naomi, and I talk about joy and creating generosity and creating togetherness around the world." And he goes, "But you're shaking." I said, "I know." And I told him my story. So, if you'd like to know more and you're curious about the power of partnerships, then write in the DM collaboration. And you can find me, Naomi, always young. I am the brand, and I will share that with you. Thanks so much.